Hello, I'm Joe from Cuttable. We are super stoked to have you in. Before we get into making ads, there are just a couple things that we need to check out. The first section you're going to want to take a look at is your brand strategy. So we run an initial setup based on your website, your social media links, and brand guidelines if you've got them. And then we understand how you speak, what you do, and who your audiences are. And you can edit any of this. So if you've got examples of words and phrases that you like to use or avoid, you can put them in here. You can add new audiences or category needs. You can edit anything. The next section to take a look at is your brand kit. In this section, you'll find the logos that can be used in your ads, the color themes that can be used in your ads, the fonts that will be used in your ads, and the audio that you can use. And you can also add backgrounds here like textures or gradients. If there's different colors that you want to use in your ads, you just need to add them to your color themes in your brand kit. And so you'll see on the right here, there's a preview for what each color theme looks like and how it would show up in my ad. The next section to take a look at is your album section. In here, you'll find all the images and video that you uploaded before starting your trial, and you can also create new albums or add images and video to existing albums. Cuttable will only use images and video that you've got in your albums when making your ads. It's important to make sure that you've got a great variety of assets in your album section. So that includes images and video, but also polished footage, raw footage, brand images, products in use, or texture images, for example. Basically, the more variety, the better, and especially having any of the assets that you want to use in your ads, make sure you've got them in here. The next section to take a look at is the design section. So in here, you'll see a bunch of different cuttable designs that you can use to create ads with. And so I can scroll through and I can favorite the ones I like by hitting this little icon, or I can also use these drop down menus at the top to filter the designs to find ones that I like, or I can also search by keywords. When looking through the designs here, if there's ones that you like and want to make ads with, it's important to understand the type of assets that are being used in those designs, and that's the images and video. So this one, for example, if I want to make an ad like this, I'd be wanting to make sure I've got some similar kind of images that would work with this design. Same thing for this one. You can see there's a cutout image of this product. I'd want to make sure that I've got a cutout image if I want to use this design. You can make that cutout image in Cuttable, so don't stress there, but it's important to understand that that's how these designs work with your albums, making sure you've got the right assets to use with the designs that you like. It's just important to understand how these fundamental areas of Cuttable work before making ads so that you know how the whole system works and what changes you might need to make to get the ads that you're after. For example, if the copy you're getting in your ads doesn't really sound like your brand, you can change that in your brand strategy. Or if you want to change the colors or the fonts that you're consistently getting in your ads, you can edit that in your brand kit. For your albums, it's important to make sure you've got the images and video in your account that you want to use with your ads. And then the design section is just really helpful for understanding what kind of images and videos you might need to add to your account and what ads and designs would work really well with what you've currently got. Thank you so much for listening. If you understand this, you are now well on your way to making great ads with Cuttable.